Hey everybody, it's time for another Sunday night read aloud. So happy Sunday, I hope everybody's doing well. Today we're going to read a book called When We Were Alone by David Robertson and Julie Flett. And this is a book that we're going to read in honor of Native American and Indigenous Peoples Heritage Month, which is this month of November. So Miss Allen Davis lent me this book to share with all you guys. And today we're coming to you from a very special place. To me, the beach in Cape Cod, and this is some place where I always like to read and share books with people, so that's why we're here today. So I hope you enjoy When We Were Alone. Today, I helped my kokom in her flower garden. She always wears colorful clothes. It's like she dresses in rainbows. When she bent down to prune some of the flowers, I couldn't even see her because she blended in with them. She was like a chameleon. Nokom, why do you wear so many colors? I asked. Nokom said, well, no seesum. See all the beautiful colors she's wearing and all the flowers? She blends in. Let's see what she says. When I was your age, at home in my community, my friends and I wore many different colors. But at the school I went to, far away from home, they gave us different clothes to wear. All the children were dressed the same, and our clothes weren't colorful at all. We all mixed together like storm clouds. Why did you have to dress like that? I asked. They didn't like us. They didn't like that we wore such beautiful colors, Nokom said. They wanted us to look like everybody else. So you can see, they're all the same and they're all wearing plain clothes, no bright colors. It's kind of sad. But sometimes in the fall, when we were alone and the leaves had turned to their warm autumn hues, we would roll around on the ground. We would pile the leaves over the clothes they had given us, and we would be colorful again. And this made us happy. Now, Nokom said, I always wear the most beautiful colors. See the leaves? If you go outside right now, you can see some of these leaves all changing colors. After I helped with the flowers, we went over to the back gate. There were vines covering the gate, and they reached all the way to the ground. When my kokom turned to fix the latch, I saw that her braid hung almost as low as the vines. It was like she had a tail. Nokom, why do you wear your hair so long? I asked. Nokom said, well, no seesum. See that? My grandmother used to have really long hair too. When I was your age, at home in my community, my friends and I grew our hair long, just like our people have always done. It made us feel so strong and proud. But at the school I went to, far away from home, they cut off all of our hair. Our strands of hair mixed together on the ground like blades of dead grass. Why did you have to wear your hair like that? I asked. They didn't like that we were proud, Nokom said. They wanted us to be like everybody else. But sometimes in the spring, when we were alone and the grass had grown so long and thick in the field, we would pick the blades from the ground. We would braid them into our short hair and they had given us, and we would have long hair again. And this made us happy. Now, Nokom said, I always wear my hair very long. After my kokom had fixed the latch, I followed her to the birdhouse. There was a bird flying through the air like a jingle dress dancer. She fed the bird and whispered, Na pinanasas, mikoso ta misi kikanin ta makaskin. And her words sounded just like a poem. Nokom, why do you speak in Cree? I asked. Nokom said, well, no season. And what she said said was, "Here, little bird, eat, so you will get big and strong." And you can see the words right here in the beautiful bird. When I was your age, at home in my community, my friends and I always spoke our language. But at the school I went to, far away from home, they wouldn't let us speak our words. All the children used their strange words, and we didn't understand them at all. Our voices blended together like a flock of crows. "Why did you have to talk in their language?" I asked. "They didn't like that we spoke our language," Nokum said. "They wanted us to talk like everybody else." Sounds pretty sad. But sometimes in the summer, when we were alone and our teachers weren't anywhere around the place we would whisper to each other in Cree. We would say all the words we weren't allowed to say so that we wouldn't forget them. And this made us happy. Now, Nokum said, I always speak my language. After our gardening work was done, I sat with my kokom in the backyard. Her brother came over and sat with us. He comes over all the time. We drank tea and ate bannock. The tea was hot and sweet, and the bannock was moist and warm and melted in my mouth. My kokom and my uncle talked and laughed like children. "Nokom, why do you and Nokomis always spend time together?" I asked. Nokom said, "Well, Nosisu." You can see them spending time together at the table, right, brother and sister? When we were your age, at home in our community, we began being with family was the most important thing. We played with each other, did chores together, and shared everything. But at the school I went to, so far away from home, they wouldn't let us be together. My brother and I were separated, like day and night. "Why were you and Nokomi separated?" I asked. "They didn't like when we were with family," Nokomi said, "because when we were together, we thought too much of home." So you can see, she's separated, she's all alone. But sometimes in the winter, when we were alone and we were sure that nobody could see us, we would find each other. We would take off our mitts, and in the crisp, cold air, we would hold hands so we could be with each other. And this made us happy. "Now," Nokom said, as she reached over and held my uncle's hand and mine, "I am always with my family." And that is the end of the story called "When We Were Alone." And so it talks a lot about the experience that Nokom had when she was young. And in our history, it's very interesting to see how some people were treated, Native Americans and indigenous people were treated long ago, and how they had to live in communities, and how still to this day a lot of people live in these communities. And it's really something that's pretty sad. And we don't want to just honor these people in November, but we want to have these people in our minds and our hearts at all times, and really push for equality with everybody. So thank you guys and girls for joining us today from one of my happy spots, and I hope you have a great night, and go pay